Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. You can also find the show on the major platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and you can find us at marketingpulpit.com. All over the place. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right, folks. Welcome you to another Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, and we are here every Friday. Thank you again. So hang on 1 second. I'm getting a little feedback here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right, 1 second here. Getting a little feedback. All right, let's move forward. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'd like to welcome everybody listening from all over the world. We are in the, you can find us by going to marketingpulpit.com. We're right there on the homepage of the Marketing Pulpit Show. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Now we're good. All right, folks, this is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're here every Friday. You can go to marketingpulpit.com. We're right there on the homepage of the website. You can listen to the show live. And we're broadcasting live, simulcasting from WL 1450 AM and 95.9 FM. And you can go there and look at past shows at Marketing Pulpit. We're also broadcasting on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and LinkedIn. I am Robert Gatewood, your host. I am a business developer by trade. I've been doing this as long as Buck was a calf. I have probably 30 years or so. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web. I'm also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College. As a matter of fact, I'll be teaching a course over at the college this coming on the 19th called Marketing Strategies for Today and Tomorrow. Been doing that for about 25 years. I've written a couple of books, one called Played in Full and one called Smarter Than the Boss. I'm also a consultant, work with the Small Business Administration in the tech space. So I've been at this for a minute. So welcome to the show. This is a Veterans Day weekend. And so I want to say mad love to all of the veterans out there. Man, I'm telling you, until you walked in the shoes of a veteran, as a political scientist, that's my background, and a student of foreign wars, I must say that those veterans, they need to get more respect because, I mean, they've gone through a lot. So I want to say much support and love to them for all they've done and contributed to this country to make sure we have the liberties that we are experiencing right here in these United States. Okay, let's see what else is going on. We got an exciting show lined up today. We're going to talk about what do voters and shoppers have in common. We've just gone through this big election, and I'm sure many of you business owners are sitting there saying to yourself, what is going on? How does this affect me? Of course, there are issues that affect you directly, but as a business owner, there are some collateral effects because as a business owner, you may have seen some things during the campaign that reminded you of some of the things you're doing as a business owner. So today we're going to talk about why a business owner makes a great candidate because of many of the things that they have in common. And you're going to pick up some tips today from that. So hang on later in the show. We're going to talk about that during our marketing sermon. Also today, we're going to talk about, We're going to talk about our tech tip, and we're going to talk about things that are happening in the news. Also, if you need a suite for your business, phone answering services, things like that, our sponsor and partner in this venture, BLE Executive Suites, you can find them at blesuites.com. And they have their three great locations, one in National Harbor, one in Largo, and one in College Park. And so if you have any type of office needs, you want to check them out. And also if you need a web domain, Gatewood Web Services is also a sponsor of this show. If you need a domain for your business, you have a business idea. The minute you get that idea, you should go out and register the domain. Don't wait until the website is done, until you get your DUNS number or your cage code. The minute you get that business idea, go to Gatewood Biz, gatewoodbiz.com or gatewoodweb.com or gatewood.biz and register your domain to launch that business. And so I've had, as a business and web consultant, many people have lost their good names because they waited too long. They were waiting until the website was finished. They're waiting until they got all these different certifications. Get that domain right away. So go to gatewood.biz and register your domain, set up a free account. And we have the same exact services that you're going to get from GoDaddy and Google and the other services. The difference is it's owned by Gatewood, the sponsor of this show, and yours truly. So let's keep that money in the neighborhood. We also have a Nerf ball question today on the table. We're going to give away a free, what do you give away free today? We're going to give away a free BLE Executive Suites web address. In other words, you will have a business address for your company. If you answer this question today, it's a very, very easy question. And the winner, that's why we call it Nerf ball, because it's not a hard ball. What does the acronym CPM stand for? The first person calls in with the answer, we're going to give them a free BLE Executive Suites. If you're a business owner and you're tired of giving out your home address to all these strange people, then you can have one of those addresses at BLE, at the National Harbor, the Hub Zone in College Park, or the Largo location. So what does the acronym CPM stand for? It's a digital marketing term. And the first person calls in, 1-800-450-7876, 1-800-450-7876. And to the folks who are tuning in online, you'll see the phone number scrolling across the screen on top of my ugly face. Okay, what else is going on? Like I said, later in the show, we're going to talk about marketing and what voters and shoppers have in common, and why a business owner has a natural, makes a natural politician. And we need to look no further than looking at what happened in the state of Maryland this past Tuesday. Wes Moore, a business owner, business entrepreneur, he became the first Black governor of the state of Maryland. So we're going to talk about that, on how business and the political worlds work together. So hang on, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Also, let's talk about some items in the news. Do we have a call? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, we have a caller. Okay. We have a caller on the line. Caller. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show. What is your question? Or do you have the answer to our question? Okay. All right, hold on there. Let me see here. You said the answer was, all right, give me that answer again. You said clicks per minute. I tell you what, now what's your name again?
The name is Tom.
Tom, I tell you what, even though that's not the answer I was looking for, I'm going to give you the prize anyway. There's another term I'm looking for, clicks per minute. I'm going to say, let's go ahead and accept that. And what I want you to do, Tom, is give your information to the engineer, and I'll make sure we get your information over to BLE Executive Suite so they can give you that free business address. If you don't need it, if you know somebody who's in business, it'll be a nice Christmas gift to give to somebody, because it actually has monetary value. Okay, Tom?
Thank you, sir. That's exactly what I had in mind.
All right, Tom. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Pulpit Show. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, folks. That was Tom calling in. He said the answer to the Nerf ball question was clicks per minute. That's not the answer. So the question is still on the table. The first person to give me the answer that I'm looking for CPM, we're going to give away another BLE Executive Suites business address. The number is 1-800-450-7876. 1-800-450-7876. Let's see what else is going on. Let's talk about some items in the news before we get to our marketing sermon coming up a little later in the show. And we do have an exciting show lined up today. This show starts at 10:30. We got a half hour, and it is power packed. So let's get to it. Okay. Our tech update today, our tech tip is very, very simple. If you were doing video and taking pictures with your phone, before you take another picture or do another video, take a tissue and wipe your lens. This is a quick tip today. I'm surprised how many people don't do that. They got that haze on their camera, on their photos and their videos, and they're wondering what happened. They go out and buy a brand new $1,500 phone when they could have solved the problem with a simple wipe of their lens with a tissue. So the next time you get ready to take a picture, take a lens. If you don't have a lens, take your shirt sleeve or something and wipe that lens of your camera and make sure you don't have that glaze on top of your video and your pictures. That's your free tech tip for the day. Let's talk about some items in the news. Well, we just had the election on Tuesday. There was no red waves. A lot of people were touting about how there was going to be this great red wave by the Republican Party. It did not happen. But so far, it is likely that they may take the majority of the House. They have 211 seats so far, compared to the 192 for the Democrats. And they need about 208. Either party needs 218 to claim control and to have a majority. In the Senate right now is 46 seats for the Democrats and 48 for the Republicans. 6 contests are still yet to be decided. And we will probably see a runoff in the state of Georgia coming up between Herschel Walker and Reverend Warnock. Let's see what else is going on. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, is laying off 11,000 employees. And Elon Musk said, I'm sorry. He even said he was sorry about it. But anyway, that's a lot of people. And these tech companies are actually going through something right now. The bubble, some people say the bubble has burst. We're seeing issues with Elon Musk and Twitter, Meta. And so this may continue going into 2023. Speaking of Elon Musk, he dumped $4 billion of his Tesla stock. And Tesla took a tumble earlier in the week. As a matter of fact, many people who are owning Tesla stock were having a slight heart attack this week before the big rally yesterday, and many of the stocks rebounded yesterday. So anybody who's in the stock market right now, it's been a rough ride. The next story really is kind of dear to my heart, and that is the story that happened with Tiffany Cross, who was on MSNBC. She was let go last Friday, probably while we were on the air, just outright fired. And many people are not happy about it, including yours truly. That was one of the shows I would watch every Saturday morning. I would really set my alarm to make sure I watched the Tiffany Cross show because she was so straightforward. She did not take prisoners. She told the truth. And another reason it was so, I almost felt like it was cowardly because she came off the heels of a vicious attack by this Tucker Carlson guy on Fox News. I mean, he beat her up and Joy Reid, and he started a campaign really to get rid of her. And MSNBC folded, they cowered, and they let the sister go. And so 40 black leaders from around the country sent a letter to the president of MSNBC, which happened to be a sister, Rashida Jones, to protest the cancellation of the Tiffany Cross show. This included people like Derek Johnson, the president of the NAACP, Roland Martin, Mark Thompson, Rashad Robinson from The Color of Change, Tasha from the Black Voters Matter, Angela Rye. The list is on and on and on. People who were upset over this firing. You can add my name to the list. I think it was a cowardly move by MSNBC. On the station of the company that really led the campaign, this was a network that coddles racists and insurrectionists, and they have the nerve to start a campaign against somebody who speaks the truth and gives a different perspective and voice. So I am very much in favor of the leaders who are really pushing this, make sure that the justice is done in the case of the unfair firing of Tiffany Cross from MSNBC. And I would be watching her tomorrow if she was still on the air. Kick me off. Let's see what else is going on here before we take our break coming up in a minute. Let's see. Nick Cannon faces backlash after baby number 12. He is set to pay $3 million a year in child support. I don't know, brother Nick. Might need to kind of cut back on some of the baby. I mean, but he has a calling. He said he tried to explain it, make it make sense. That seems like a lot of children, especially when you're paying $3 million a year in child support. In our war in the workplace story, a Taco Bell employee is in hot water, no pun intended, for throwing boiling water on a disgruntled customer. They got into an argument. This lady and her niece, her 16-year-old niece, they had some disagreement about the service, and just so happened that the manager of the restaurant came out of the back room and poured boiling water on the woman and her 16-year-old niece. Folks, let me tell you, I have been telling people on this show that there are certain ways to do things because we started a segment called War in the Workplace. And you don't want to be the one to escalate it, and you definitely don't want to be the one to do something that's going to get you in trouble or the organization for which you work. So today, which has become a common staple on the Marketing Pulpit Show, we have to test our audience to make sure that you're not part of this foolishness and that you would know what to do if a similar situation happens to you. So my quiz today, you are a fast food manager and a customer is giving you a really, really hard time. No matter what you say or do, they just keep the argument going. What should you do? Number one, go get another member of your staff. It could be a personality clash. A different person might get a more amicable reaction. That's number one. Number two, go ahead and give the customer what he or she wants. It may cost you a little money in the short term, but in the long term, it goes far towards goodwill and good customer service. Number three, you might call law enforcement to intervene, to arbitrate. Sometimes a fresh set of eyes could be more objective and solve the problem. Or number four, you pour hot boiling water over the offending customer. People, it's not that hard. I've been saying this. Don't escalate. When you have these problems, you have to take a more sensible approach. And Brand Leader Model says, give them what they want. That makes sense to me. Give them what they want. What you don't do is pour hot boiling water on your customers. That's never going to work. I don't care what kind of business you're in. All right, folks. And thank you, Brand Leader Model. Brand Leader Model, matter of fact, she's a regular listener of the show. Check out brandleadermodel.com. Very busy young lady out here. She's modeling, acting, doing runways, doing commercials. So thank you again for tuning in to the Marketing Pulpit Show on a regular basis. All right, let's see here. I think we got a break coming up here. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about our topic for the day. What do voters and customers have in common? And if you are a business owner, are you a natural to become a politician? That's what we're going to talk about when we come back from the break. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m., bringing you the good marketing gospel. And so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a moment. We are back. We are back. We are back. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Go to marketingpulpit.com to find out more about the show. You can listen to past shows and share this good information. But right now, we're going to talk about our marketing sermon for the day. We're going to talk about, we just saw this past election. And if you are a business owner and you you're sitting on the sidelines, and like, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with business. Well, I beg to differ, because there's so many similarities between running a business and running a campaign. It's no accident that when you, in both efforts, whether you're trying to get customers or whether you're trying to get votes, they're both called campaigns. That in itself lets you know there are some similarities. So what we've seen, actually, even with the election of the first black mayor, governor in the state of Maryland, he came from the business community. So what is it about business owners that make them suitable for office? Well, it's actually not that they're necessarily suitable for office, but they do have quite a bit more skills that make them formidable candidates. Buying, like voting, is an emotional decision. So whether you're seeking customers or voters, you must understand and address certain basic human needs. Most people, whether you're a customer or a voter, you want to make or save money. And as a business owner or candidate, that should be at one of the top planks of your agenda. People want to make sure that they are healthy, that their physical needs are taken care of. That should be a plank in your platform, whether you are seeking public office or more customers. People like to be happy and comfortable. Once again, you have to make that a plank in your platform, whether you're seeking customers or voters. People want to feel safe. Fear has been a very effective tool in elections, and it's also an effective tool when people are trying to get customers. People get scared of bejesus out of you by saying something bad is going to happen if you choose option A over option B. In sales and in political campaigns, very powerful motivator. Scarcity, another one. When people feel like there's not enough to go around, whether you're a politician trying to get votes or whether you're customers trying to get sales, when you inject scarcity, it can be very effective. So we're starting to see the parallel. And of course, consensus and social proof. That means people want to belong. They want to belong to something greater. They want to make sure that they're following the crowd, that they're not left on the outside. Once again, if you use either one of these in your marketing campaign, or if you're a political campaign, you're more likely to get good results. Now, there are some tactical requirements that campaigns and sales efforts make. The first is to make sure you target the right audience. Everybody is not your customer. Everybody is not your voter. You're wasting time. Some people wonder why people don't advertise and why certain campaigns don't advertise in 50 states. They don't do a 50-state strategy, because you're wasting money trying to advertise in Alaska if that's not your voter. You're just wasting your time. You want to concentrate that money in an area where you're likely to get results. So targeting is pivotal, whether you're trying to get customers or whether you're trying to get votes. And you do have to advertise. You have to spend money. That's one of the biggest challenges for many small-time companies and unknown politicians. If they don't have the bank and they're run up against one of these powerful organizations or candidates, they're going to have problems. Another tactical issue or approach is to simplify. You have to make it simple. You have to make it easy for people to understand, whether it's your product, your service, or your position on certain issues if you're a candidate. Very important part of political campaigns and advertising campaigns. Knowledge, understanding what's going on. You have to understand where your customers come from, what their issues are. You have to understand the metrics. You have to know what's going on in the industry or in the home districts. And you have to know what your customers, your competition is doing, whether it's your political rival or your competitor in business. And you have to serve. This is a big one. You have to serve like your life depends on it. Whether you are a politician or whether you're a business owner, you have to provide service. You have to serve. You have to solve problems. You have to solve problems. You have to serve. Whether you're running a political campaign or if you're trying to move products off the shelf. When it comes to service, you have to understand the value of the customers, just like you understand the value of your voters. You have to stay in touch. You have to listen, and you have to keep your promises. Whether you're running a campaign or a political campaign, or if you're selling products and services, you have to be able to handle these particular needs. You have to deal with complaints, learn the power of yes, and be helpful and exceed expectations, whether you are running a campaign or if you're trying to sell products off the shelf. Now, all of this to say that while candidates and campaigns are going through, while we were going through this lesson learned during the campaign, people are assessing what they did wrong and what they did right after this election. But you can be doing the same thing as you evaluate your company through the lens of what just happened this past Tuesday. What are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? What do you need to adjust? So customers, like voters, they will show up and reward you with your dollars if you make the right decisions. So I'm going to wrap it up. So if you have a new product and let's say you're looking for new products to add to your shelf this month, because I have a new thing I'm going to be pushing. If you have products and services, I want you to add one more product to your offering, and that's called smile making. I was reading some articles the other day. I was on LinkedIn, like I often am, and I was amazed at how certain things that people did, just small gestures, just put a smile on your face. Are you in the smile making business? You don't have to necessarily spend money. You don't have to go out of your way. Just these small gestures that we can do as individuals, whether we're politicians, whether we're customers, whether we're workers, whether we're none of the above. Let's get into the business of putting a smile on somebody's face every day. You can do it. It doesn't require a lot. All you have to do is make the effort. And that's what we're going to do going forward. And we're definitely going to be doing that on the Marketing Pulpit Show. So thank you again. Don't forget to support our sponsor, BLE Executive Suites. You can call them at 301-322-1700. And if you need a location for your business address, phone services, then check them out. Also, don't forget to register your domain name. Your domain name is the web address for your company. If you have a company that's in mind, if you're thinking about starting a business you're contemplating, go ahead and register the name today. Don't wait a year from now when somebody else gets it. One of these brokers get it, they're going to charge you a few $1,000s to get it when you could have gotten it today, about $16. Go to gatewood.biz and register your domain, set up your free account, and we'll be glad to have you and get some of the best services that you've ever seen. Also, support us by going to sharing this show. You can go to marketingpulpit.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And we'll be glad to have you as one of our followers. And you can find out more about me. I have a website also called robertgatewood.com, where some people have been asking me to come out and do speaking engagements and so forth. Be glad to take that information and come on out and make sure we get your company back on the right track and get your people motivated. So that's going to wrap up the show for today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m., bringing you the good marketing gospel. Go to marketingpulpit.com, share this show. Go to YouTube. We have all the shows itemized where you can actually type in a certain category, whether it's marketing. We have 1-minute blurbs. We have 1-hour sermons. We have the entire show. You can get that by going to YouTube. Also, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, you can also get this information and share it with others to make sure that we are building strong businesses in our community and putting people to work. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for today. We'll be back next week. I am Robert Gatewood. And if you want to be successful, you have to do these 3 things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work. If you have a jacked up idea that's never going to get off the ground, Robert Gatewood is going to tell you. All right, don't get mad at me now. Tell him, I'm saving you some heartache down the road. Let me tell you something else I'm saving. I'm saving the folks that you might do damage to if you get out here, start a business, and not taking it seriously, and people are transferring their accounts over to you. They're giving you their personal information, their financial information. They're trusting you because you told them you were in business and they took you at your word. Don't betray that trust. So if you're going to go into business, let's go into it the right way. If you're not sure, right here, Marketing Pulpit Show, I'm going to tell you how to do it. If you have a service that people can't afford, then you have to find a way to get that service to people, to the ones who can't afford it, if it's something that they really need. That's why law firms have pro bono services and things like that. That's why medical clinics have the free clinic. Because some things you can't just say because you can't afford it, you're not going to get it. I feel that marketing advice falls in that category as well, particularly if you're a business owner.